Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And well, what do we got here? A huge thanks to Jonathan, not only for the request, and you, among many others, have been very generous. Jonathan, if you watch it, I really do appreciate it. I'll try to get to your other requests as soon as I can. I apologize. But thank you so much for your kindness. Really do appreciate it from all you guys out there. I really do. If anyone wants to request any type of videos, review, tier list, re-review, video game playthrough, commentary, reaction, random movie news, thoughts, whatever, PayPal is the best way to do it. I do have a Cash App, Patreon. People have asked about those. All those links are down below in the info box. And I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thank you so much. And the reason I'm also excited is because I'm talking about The Running Man. The Running Man, a film that when it came out, didn't do as well as you would think. Because I always consider The Running Man as a classic. I always consider this as one of Arnie's best films. But if you looked at the box office, it made like this much more than its budget. The same year Predator was a big rousing success in the summer. This came out more November, give or take. And didn't do that well. Critics didn't really much like it. People were fans of the book by Stephen King. I know it's Richard Bachman, but Stephen King. They didn't like it. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't like it. He said it looked like a TV show. And I'm like, it's supposed to be a game show. What are you talking about, Arnie? It's like a TV show. Screw you! What are you talking about? This is a game show! What is it supposed to look like? The Matrix? What the fuck? But I don't care what anybody thinks. You have your opinion, that's fine. I love this film. I love this film ever since I was a kid. I love this film watching it now. It kicks ass. With a capital kick ass. Alright, great one-liners, awesome action set pieces where the villains are memorable, they're colorful, they're WWF type characters, which makes sense because WWF was getting very popular at the time, and they make them memorable and fun. Buzzsaw, Dynamo, Fireball. I think I even read somewhere that American Gladiator, someone was in looked at this and said, let's do this. They said without all the murdering. Like, if you do this without all the murdering, I think we got something. And then how were those named? Nitro, one-word monikers. And to me, it does a lot of things right. It has a great cast. Has a fantastic score by Harold Faltermeyer. Underrated score from him. I like the song at the end by John Parr, Restless Heart. Arnold at the top of the key. With like every line he says is such a memorable, fun line. Richard Dawson's Killian is a fantastic villain. He is such a slimy, fun, charismatic villain that is perfect as a sadistic game show, because some would say that's not how he was in Family Feud, when he did a bit touchy-feely with Yes, but he was perfect for that role. It's silly. It's fun. What you call silly, I'm like, okay, but it's fun. It's a fuckload of fun. And I guarantee you, when the remake comes out, I know Edgar Wright's doing it, with Glenn Powell, who was in Top Gun Maverick and Twisters. I guarantee you, when you watch that film, it's not going to be nearly as memorable. It's not going to be nearly as fun. It's going to be this gritty, in one ear, out the other movie that's going to make you miss a film like this. And hopefully people look at this with a much better eyes and much of a smirk and a glint in their eye like I do. I saw this multiple times on VHS. I would say it's my second favorite Arnold film after Predator. Because I would say it's Predator, The Running Man, Commando, End of Days is in the top 5. That'd be hard for what would be number 3 and 4. Well, number 4. There's so many to choose from. There's The Terminator, there's True Lies. Whew, that's tough. But I saw this many times on VHS, never even knew it was based on a book, let alone associated with Stephen King, which I know a lot of people have a problem with that. But I know of the book now. I know that in the book, in the story, the Running Man competition, the lead character, he decides to go into the Running Man show because his family is impoverished. They're starving. They don't have much money, much to go on. The whole country is ravaged. It's one giant war zone. So in order to do this, you had to get from point A to B to C across the country. And I think the character was going from New York to Boston to Maine. And I think he's supposed to like record diaries along the way. Spoiler of the book, when he gets there, you find out that the family he's been doing this for have been killed. He decides, screw it, I'm going to do something for the good of humanity. So he gets a damn helicopter and flies it into the network building. I think it's a plane, not a helicopter. Is helicopter or plane? He flies into the network building, kills himself, kills everybody there, and there you go. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. I get it that some people may feel it's more emotional, more dramatically charged. I get that. Maybe Edgar Wright will do that for the new one. Cool. You can have yours, and I'll have mine. And then we can both be happy. Maybe we could do it that way. But I prefer this, whereas Arnold, I like this story better. I like the villains, how more colorful they are, how more memorable they are. I like the way it worked out here. Again, just my own personal preference. Now, Andrew Davis was hired at first as the director because he had done Code of Silence. This is before he did Above the Law and The Fugitive and other films. Now, apparently Andrew Davis was hired. He was working on the film, and then like a week or two later he was fired because they said it was taking too long. Arnold has gone on record by saying that was a big mistake. They should have kept Andrew Davis. They got Paul Michael Glaser, and then Arnold said it was shot like a TV show, and it became more silly, and it lost any of the darker realm and heart. And I'm sitting there going, Arnold, that's not even the kind of movies you were making. You were purposely making films that were hopeful to be audience blockbusters. That's why you did Predator. Why you did Red Heat. Because you knew you were a commodity and you were selling your body, your persona as that commodity. Maybe nowadays you want to be looked at as serious, but that's not how you were thinking for yourself at that time period. It's like, I know who I am. I'm a bodybuilder. I could try to do one-liners and kick-ass take names. That's what you wanted to sell to the audience. And to me, it's a crowd pleaser. I don't know if it was maybe the timing. Maybe if this was a summer release as well. Maybe it would have worked out better. I don't know the details. I still don't understand why this was not a bigger hit. Because I definitely think it's a damn good movie. And I know there's enough people out there who liked it, who feel the same way too. It's not just me. And Paul Michael Glaser, I thought he did a good job with it for what was needed to be done with this project. And again, Andrew Davis, I'm sure he would have done a good job too, because he's a very competent director. Of course, later on we worked with him in Collateral Damage, which that film also bombed too. And I like Collateral Damage, but I think Running Man is better. So that's funny. Like, Arnold says it would have been better with Andrew Davis, which he would go do Collateral Damage. And while I like that film, I think most people, if you poll, they like Running Man more than Collateral Damage. Again, I like both, but I'm saying I think this is the better movie, Arnold. But yet you hate this one. Whatever. I love the score by Harold Faltermeyer. I think it has that great dark feel with the synthesizer. Whether it be the main theme. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Even the way it begins has this kind of dark feel to it, where it's showing the text and the long future of 2017. God, that's crazy to think that at one point 2017 seemed like so far away. And it's true, like when I saw this as a kid in 1990, 91, 1990, whenever I saw this on VHS for the first time, yeah, I think, oh yeah, that's pretty far away. You know, who knows what will happen? Now it's like, yeah, wow, 2017, man, that must have been a bad year, man. How many years ago that was now? 6 years ago? That's why it seems, unless you're doing like a year that none of us will be alive, it'd probably be best not to put a year when you talk about a few. But it's like, do we hate Steve from New York because it said it took place in 1997? No. Oh, but Steve from New York's a piece of shit. So it took place in 1997. That's not how it is. Fuck it. 0 out of 10. No. It's just, it is what it is. But the story, the country has been put into a police state. There's a TV show, which is the most successful show of all time, is there to ease and distract society from the real problems going on. Which, you can see that happening today, where stuff is done to distract people from the real problem. And that's the thing, when you watch this film, it was ahead of its time for a lot of stuff. People being so entranced with the TV show, like I said, that they're trying to center on that and distract what's really going on in the world of today. Fake news. I mean, just with all the stuff going on with the politicians and the elections and all the propaganda and saying how this group are Nazis and this group are this and that, all the fake news stuff. So, maybe we shouldn't trust the news. Maybe they lied to us. There's even a bit here where Killian goes, "We don't lie." And the resistance leader goes, "He's lying to you." Yeah. You saw a lot of that later on. I mean, maybe, of course, some at this point, but that seems normal today, sadly, that the media would lie to you and the upper echelon would lie to the American public. These type of TV shows where it seems much more, we're not there yet with people dying on TV, but hell, when people do these crazy stunts and people do these crazy exhibitions of MMA or other types of sports, when people do stuff like Survivor and other reality shows where people go through a bit of pain or a bit of self-torture or scare themselves to death, like Fear Factor, so either like emotional pain or whatever, and a lot of people watch. Hell, I didn't click on the video, but if you just go on YouTube and there's like a video saying real footage of a person decapitated, and I just looked at the view count, it's like 41 million, and you're like, I didn't click on it. I hope it's fake, because otherwise I don't know why the hell that's on YouTube. If I showed a nipple, I would get people, YouTube be pissed, but if someone gets their head decapitated, hey, 41 million, and yeah, keep it on there. So hopefully it's like fake or a movie. I'm not clicking on it, but you can find those type of videos, Sally, if you're scrolling through and you just see the thumbnail, like, what? And you just look at the view count. Even like as simple as prank shows, where people are bothering people and annoying them and mess with them psychologically and just ruining their day, and they get higher and higher and higher views. I mean, that sadly is a thing of reality. That there's a chunk of people out there that want to see other people suffering because, well, they're not me, or they're better than me, or hey, at least they ain't me. Or you see someone on screen, so some people, because of that barrier, even though it's a real person, they still think of it like it's a movie, so they deviate fantasy reality because they weren't taught better by their parents. A lot of that stuff happens today. And the whole game show aspect, like I said, American Gladiators and other shows of that era later on, these type of game shows and reality shows. Jerry Springer, what happened to Jerry Springer? Even got to the point that, from what I understand, they would make up fights, or have these two people throw in some gasoline, now you guys fight and film it. Oh, just people want to see people beat the shit out of each other in real life. Oh, shit, you know. Selling violence for entertainment. For people to keep watching and tuning in. It's like the little show they have here. Climbing for Dollars. Was a guy climbing up. Dogs barking at him. Getting money. Esteem. I'm laughing because I like the way it's edited, where it like has a split screen where the guy's falling here, and the dogs are down here. It's just the music. But you know, stay tuned. Because even I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? Is he going to catch the rope? Is he going to die? And then I catch myself, oh my god, I'm acting like the audience in the fucking movie. Since the days of the gladiators, or, you know, people fight each other in the stadiums and in the arenas and fighting a lion or fighting each other, or this or this. Yeah. One of the tales as old as time. And even, hell, AI technology, deepfake. There's literally a scene in this where they do a fucking deepfake where Jesse Ventura won't fight Arnold. Jesse Ventura is like, what's all this BS? We go man to man with honor. Go to the gladiators. They pretty much tell Jesse Ventura to fuck off. We don't need you. So they make an old program with Jesse Ventura, and they put Arnold's face on someone else's face. Which how they did that recently with that Star Trek short film Unification. Where they used an actor, Sam Witwer, and they put William Shatner's face on his face. So he's walking around and doing stuff. Like, this is the same thing as this. The same fucking thing. So there's a lot of stuff ahead of its time in this. The deepfake AI fight. To, you know, in this case, to manipulate and fool people. So it's like, when you watch this, there's a lot more food for thought than people give credit to. Now, to get into the film, like I said, originally Christopher Reeve was going to be in this. He was going to be the star of it. But that didn't work out. Until ultimately Arnold Schwarzenegger did the film. And then you have, like I said, Richard Dawson as the evil game show host, Killian. And Richard Dawson is perfect for the role. You see him showcase that charm and charisma to the audience to make them like him. You have Arnold's two prison buddies that they escape with each other. One of them is played by Yaphet Kotto, may he rest in peace, who was Parker in the original Alien. María Conchita Alonso, funny enough, she would be in Predator 2 years later. You got Jesse Ventura, who was in Predator with Arnold. You got Jim Brown as one of the villains, the stalkers. Erland Van Lith, who plays Dynamo, he was one of the bad guys in the Jack Palance film Alone in the Dark. He was also the big guy in jail with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder in Stir Crazy. Jim Brown, may he rest in peace. Sadly, Jim Brown's passed away, and he did a lot of blaxploitation stuff back in the day. He played Fireball here. Van Lith passed away. Yaphet Kotto passed away. I think Richard Dawson passed away. So it's sad. Lost quite a few people here. Sven Thorson, who's a buddy of Arnold's, he makes an appearance here as a security guard for Richard Dawson. Even like the guy from Fleetwood Mac is one of the head resistance, as well as Dweezil Zappa, who's in the music. Kind of funny they picked two musicians. And was Fleetwood Mac, was it Mitch I always forget his name. Is he like playing himself? Because he does mention, like, you're a cop, you're one of those people that jailed all my friends and burned all my songs. Like, burn all your songs? Are you supposed to be playing yourself in this? So I think they call him Mick, and his name is Mick. Let me check real quick. I'm bad with names. I should have looked this up. Yeah, Mick Fleetwood plays Mick, and Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac. Although Mick is spelled different, M-I-C, and his real name is M-I-C-K, but I'm sitting there going, still, is he trying to play himself in this? Which I thought would be interesting. Anyway, it starts off with the logo, which I love the little running emoji logo they have. I thought that was a nice little added touch to the credits, to the title. I like the text of the titles as well, the Running Man. Yeah, I like the kind of the scary, soft synth score to use when the text is being used to give a bit of a foreboding nature. And then you have our lead character, Arnold. And Arnold was at the top of his game. I mean, he had that charm and persona that made him a movie star. He had the thick accent, of course, but the one-liners were filled to the brim like Commando, and it worked well just like it did in Commando. So many one-liners just work. From all the stuff he says to the stalkers. Here's Sub-Zero! Now Plane Zero! Or when he's dealing with Fireball. How about the light? What a hothead. Or whether it be Buzzsaw saying, I love the saw. It's part of me. I'm going to make it part of you. And Arnold's like, that's alright. We'll keep it. What happened to Buzzsaw? He had to split. Or when Tillian offers him a contract, even though some of his friends have been killed, and Arnold's looking at the camera and says something to the fact of, I'd love to see you eat that contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist because we're going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine. I can't do an Arnold accent to save my life. I'll be back. Only in a rerun. One of us is in deep trouble. Hello, cutie pie. Or even when he has María Conchita Alonso, they're going to the airport, and she's like, I get air sick, car sick, I'm going to throw up all over you. And he's like, go ahead. Won't show up in this shirt. He's wearing like a crazy Hawaiian shirt. It's just, like, every line is just so much fun. Great. And then, again, the villains. Again, you got Sub-Zero, Professor Toru Tanaka, who's the bad guy in The Perfect Weapon and many other films he was in as the villain. He was featured, I think there's a film he worked with Chuck Norris, and they did Dynamo, where you shoot electricity, Buzzsaw with motorcycle and chainsaw, Fireball, got the jetpack and the flamethrower, to Dynamo when Arnold's like, Hey, Christmas tree! Oh shit, follow me, light bulb! How wild do people hate... I remember reading a Reddit recently, because I was just looking up some info, and people like, oh yeah, the book was great. And then it was like, oh, the movie's awful, the movie sucks. Maybe you suck! No, I'm just kidding. If you don't like the film, to each their own. Not really, but I do that mean really. But not really, but I do mean that really. Which does he mean? It means you're an asshole. No. Listen, in all seriousness, listen, we're not all going to like the same thing. I just don't understand how this movie is just a lot of fun. It's entertainment. It's enjoyment. It's pure 80s bliss of over-the-top fun, which we don't get anymore. We don't get this kind of film anymore because people look at these films as cheesy, as corny. Yeah, make the 85th fucking shitty Marvel film with wall-to-wall CGI and bland characters doing bland fucking things and bland action scenes. Or make another 10th A24 film where nothing happens, bunch of ponderous, pretentious bullshit where no one acts like a human being. Or make another reboot of another project that doesn't need, like The Crow, that no one's going to remember. It's going to be flushed down the fucking toilet. 8 seconds flat. Sorry, I'd just be defending this. In all sincerity, if you don't like the film, no bullshit, to each their own. It's just, as a fan of these type of movies, I like seeing these type of movies made, and when they don't get made, because apparently there's this conjunction of people saying that's the wrong way to make a movie. I'm like, well, if you can have all these movies, we can have these movies too, and someone out there should be making movies like this, with that sense of entertainment factor. Balls out. I mean, earlier on, you see a guy did his fucking head explode. Blown up, practically. Chico! But anyway, to get back to the plot, it's a police state. Arnold's a chopper pilot. There's a riot. They just want food. They're unarmed. He's ordered to shoot them. He's like, no, I'm not going to fire on unarmed civilians. The others are told to stop him. He tries to fight back. They knock him out. He's framed as the butcher of Bakersfield. He goes to prison detail. There's a riot. Gordon loved the music. Arnold's shooting guys, beating up people. Lifts a guy, give you a lift. throws his ass away. They try to disarm because they got these collars. There's another thing. I know there's other films that did this, but this was the first time I ever saw the idea of collars around your neck. If you get to a certain distance, it'll blow up. I know other films have done that. There probably were films that did that before, but I can't think of any. I'm sure people in the comments will. But I know afterward you had that Rutger Hauer film, Wedlock, also known as Deadlock. And other films where you have a collar and you'll blow up if this or this happens. Again, this is the first time I ever saw that idea. So anytime I think of the idea, I always think back to this movie. And a guy tries to run for it, and you see pretty graphic bit, which maybe the MPA got away with it because it's a far away shot. But you see his head explode practically. Pretty nice gory effect. And yeah, I think because it was so far away, like this far away. But you see it all done very nice. They're able to fix it, get the hell out of Dodge, go to the resistance, some of the resistance fighters, able to get their collars off. That's where you get Mick of Fleetwood Mac. Oh, he's the butcher of Bakersfield, and Yaphet Kotto and this other guy with the glasses. I always forget his name. Sorry, I always forget his damn name. They tell him to, oh, that's network propaganda. You can't buy into that. Oh, maybe he's seen too much. And Arnold goes, I've seen too much? All I've seen is low foreheads. People with low foreheads that could think they could change the world by dreams and talk. you're going to do something, then do it. If not, then shut up. Well, nothing to lose your head over. Exactly. And of course, you got to be smoking a cigar. He goes away from those two, and of course, we get to Tillian, which Richard Dawson, he's charming, but like a snake. I mean, you have a scene where this guy who's mopping accidentally bumps into him. Oh, hey, it's okay, man, it's alright. Then when he goes in the elevator, he goes, if that asshole is mopping the floor by tomorrow, you don't mop it for the rest of the week. Also, this one always killed me. It kind of goes under the radar, but when he's in the network room and they're trying to find more contestants, someone mentions, oh, what about those bank robbers that were going to kill themselves? he asks, well, did they kill themselves? No. Then they're unreliable. I always like that line. It's just something about that. It's just, I mean, well, they say everyone commits suicide. They didn't. Well, they're unreliable then. Just a little instance of just how his mind ticks and how his mind thinks on that. Which, I mean, I guess there's a logic to it. So, I always like that line. And all the quirky stuff, like the world building, which you saw this in RoboCop, that was in the same year, and other movies, where you get this sense of world building, where you see, like, Captain Freedom's workout with Jesse Ventura, that when he's not being a stalker, or he's a retired stalker, he does these workout videos. Or again, the commercials, like Climbing for Dollars. Or when the games are starting, you see the audience members as they, oh, here's the home game, and here's, you know, this and that for these prizes, and it's fun to see the world building, to get a sense of how this world works. So Arnold goes to what he thinks is his brother's place, but then finds María Conchita Alonso there. He warns her, I don't want to hurt you, I just need to get out of here. They go to the airport. That's where you get the line, I'm going to throw up all over you. Go ahead. It's not going to show on this shirt. She warns the cops. He gets arrested. He gets caught. Has his first talk with Killian. Hey, you're the asshole on TV. I was just about to say the same thing about you. And then has a choice. Either you do the Running Man, or you two buddies, Yaphet Kotto and the other guy, they're going to do it. And I like that idea. I mean, I get the idea in the book where his family is starving, so he needs to support his family. I get that. But I don't know, I like the idea more that he's an innocent guy put into this situation where he's given no choice. So it makes me feel even worse for him that he's not given a choice. Like maybe, okay, instead of going to the Running Man game, maybe if he robbed some bad guy, maybe if he got a job that, whatever that world is, maybe there's a job you could get to make a bit more money, or there's bad guys you could rob, which hell would be even less dangerous than this game. I mean, maybe there would be other avenues you could do. Here, he's not given a choice. Even then, it's like, okay, he could either let his two buddies probably get killed, and he, being a good guy, he chooses, I'm going to help these guys. You're not giving me much of a choice. You back me into a corner. And even then he gets screwed over because those two are going to go into the game anyway. So hell, if he said no, they probably would have either tortured him, or they would have knocked him out and forced him into the game anyway, or something else would have happened. So he really didn't have a choice. So it makes me even root for him more because he didn't have a choice. Because he's such an unwilling part. I love even the tagline. Is it on this poster? On one of the posters it was, a game no one wins, but Schwarzenegger has yet to play. Something about that I always loved. It gives that bitter-than-life mannerism. Before Arnold did his stupid "screw your freedom" bullshit when he was worth a crap. I mean, Arnold, how about you make a good movie again? Instead of worry about your stupid politics. Just saying. Make a good movie again? That'd be nice. Instead of these awful Terminator sequels. I didn't see Fubar. I mean, at least Stallone was in that last Suicide Squad movie, which was good, and the few bits I've seen of the Tulsa team has been pretty good. At least there's that. What have you done, Arnold? Last thing I remember you did was worth a shit was The Last Stand in, 2013? Over a decade ago? Screw your freedom. Screw you! How about that? So this is when Arnold was worth a shit. And I love the capsule they're in, and they're... I still wonder how they did that scene. That's why I wish there was a good release of this film. Now, granted, I should have showed this. I got this release, and it looks good. Don't get me wrong. This does look good, picture quality-wise. And it's got this, which I kind of wish this was just I wish it was that picture, as simple as it is. But I mean, I like the color scheme. And then you have it's a 4K. There's I don't think there's much features on this. I don't think. Even when it was released on DVD, it seemed like there was a lot of features. There was a lot of superfluous stuff on. This is how game shows are nowadays. This is how talk shows are nowadays. How about the making of the movie? And there was a commentary with the director, which I thought could be a bit more interesting. But again, it looks good. But man, that deserved like features, actual features, documentary. But I mean, who are you going to interview? Arnold won't talk about it because he hates the film. Richard Dawson's passed away. Yaphet Kotto's passed away. Erlen Van Lift passed away. Maybe the director, maybe some behind-the-scenes crew, maybe. Just a shame. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, like it'd be cool to see like how they did that, where they're in the things and going through the tunnels. That looks cool. That's such a neat way, and I like that it's this one setting and not just across the country. That way, each setting, it feels connected. It feels like because I know in others it was like a 30-day thing. Here it's like a couple hours. I like that it works as a game show and it's a matter of hours, and because it keeps that momentum. The audience betting and who's going to win, who's going to lose. The momentum of the characters. They get more tired. They get more beat up. And will they make it to the end? It just gives a bit of a faster momentum that I appreciate. And it makes for a very fast-paced film that once it gets going, it doesn't stop until the end of the movie. Which to me is not a bad thing. Like I said, there are moments that showcases the fake news, like when María Conchita's watching the news and the news says there was all this people that got killed at the airport, and she's like, that's not true, because she was there and nobody got killed. But again, it shows how fake news is a thing, which of course it is. Listen, I love the way Arnold and Richard Dawson play against each other. I'll be back. Only in a rerun. Like I said, I like the capsule and how that looks visually. The slide from hell. I love the WWF style areas like you have on the ice with Sub-Zero. And you got Dynamo with his vehicle and his opera type of style. And again, Buzzsaw with a motorcycle. I mean, each one has their uniqueness. and they stand out. They don't become forgettable. They don't blend in the background. And Arnold takes them out one by one, and not gory ways, but brutal ways. The barbed wire across the neck, and then it took me years to realize that he actually cut the guy's fingers. Because I figured, okay, yeah, he cut the guy's neck, but then he looks at his hands and you see blood spurting out, so that means he grabbed it and it cut the guy's tips of his fingers off. It took me a while to realize that, because I didn't see that at first as a kid. And then I watched it, oh shit, yeah, that is the case. Which I thought was a cool little detail. Buzzsaw getting a chainsaw up his nuts. One guy in Fireball getting blown up. And yeah, I love the one-liners. The music fits so perfectly. The way it goes back to the audience getting so blood-hungry, but doesn't take away from the momentum of what's going on in the proceedings of the action. Very well edited. Sadly, some of our characters get killed off. Spoiler for a film from 1987. You know, Yaphet Kotto gets killed. I do like his line, I don't want to be the only asshole in heaven. I like that line. It's sad Yaphet Kotto wasn't in the film more, because I really liked him as an actor, but it is what it is. The other guy gets killed, but he's able to get this code to María Conchita Alonso, and apparently there's these sensors and stuff, so they're able to find where they're able to hack into the place if they find the resistance. Like I said, they deal with Sub-Zero, Arnold deals with Buzzsaw, makes Dynamo flip his car, deals with Fireball, and then pretty much after, they want Captain Freedom, and I don't know what he was given. He was given a little like random Star Trek shit. I don't know what's this. He's like, what is this shit? I was killed these guys with my bare hands. Coated the gladiators. They've been on riches for fuck's sake. Bullshit. So I guess, you know, they didn't want to kill off Jesse Ventura. But it's like, you do get a fight with him and Arnold, and you don't. So it's like, okay, you do get a fight with Arnold and you win. It just, the caveat is, it's not really Arnold. So it's where like they did get to do a fight scene, but they did. But anyway, with AI, with deep fake technology, which was ahead of its time. But people don't want to give credit to that. I thought Maria was likable. I don't think she was annoying. I thought she has a nice charm, smirk to her. Like when she pulls out the information they give with the to the resistance, Arnold looks at her and goes, "Where did you hide that?" Pretty much, I forget the line she says. "I'm not telling," or "you figure it out," or something like that. I wish I could remember what she said, but I do remember being pretty. Because it's hard to remember every line with this brain of mine. And you had a firefight and shooting the bad guys. Other stuff I love. I love the one audience member, this old lady who's like the #1 fan, and then she wants to choose Ben Richards. No, you're supposed to choose a stalker. No, I think the next person to kill someone is Ben Richards. He's one mean motherfucker. And then later on, she's the one who calls Richard Dawson bullshit. When the guy's trying to, oh no, this is fake. This is all stuff. One of the few nitpicks I have is the Resistance shows the footage of what really happened at Bakersfield, which is just footage from the beginning of the movie. But it makes you wonder, how was this footage shot within the movie? Because it even shows like Arnold's point of view and the guy going, whew. Did Arnold have a camera behind his eye that they got the footage? Or was it like a camera here? They had like a camera outside the helicopter? Like within the movie, how did this footage come about? Well, I think it would have been interesting if they had a scene where they show that, but we're seeing from a different point of view where there are actual cameras, and maybe there was a cameraman there, or there was cameras on the corners. Instead of showing the exact same footage we see at the beginning, it's also like when they show a commercial from the Running Man earlier in the film. It's just footage you don't see later on in the movie. Like people jumping away from the car, or Sub-Zero hitting people and flying back. It's literally the same footage we don't see later. So those are two instances I thought they got a bit lazy. They got a bit lazy with that. So it's like you can't shoot other different footage for the Running Man commercial. You can't shoot that scene, like have cameras in the corners. So you have like all you have to do is put like a camera here and then do the scene as is, and then okay, take that footage, put it in this. But yeah, those things bothered me even back then. I'm like, what? So the footage is like they got the movie footage here to put in this. I know that always bothered me, but it's little things. There's just so much other good stuff to it that I'm willing to let that go. I even like the bit with Sven Thorsen where he was told earlier, made fun of by Killian about steroids. So Arnold kind of, as he confronted Richard Dawson, Sven Thorsen's there and is like, I got to go store some steroids. And nods at Arnold, and Arnold kind of smiles when he walks away. And yes, Sven Thorsen's always been Arnold's buddy. He's been in a lot of Arnold films. He was in Conan the Barbarian. I think he was one of the guys who kills Arnold's family in End of Days. In the whole flashback that Gabriel Byrne shows him. I think one of them was Sven Thorsen. Like I say, he pops up in a lot of stuff. I think he was in Red Heat. Like I say, he would pop up a lot. He was also the security mall guard in Mallrats, LaFours. That's Sven Thorsen. And I like the banter he has with Killian. Drop dead. I don't do requests. And then he goes through the slide from hell. Collides, explodes. Well, that hit the spot. People are cheering. Maria comes by. They kiss. They walk off. And then you have that song, Restless Heart by John. Which I like that song too. Running away with you. By John Parr, who is the same guy who sang the song for St. Elmo's Fire. A Man in Motion. A Man in Motion. St. Elmo's Fire. Which is the only thing worth the shit. Because that movie sucks. St. Elmo's Fire is a crappy movie. But that's an awesome song. I love that song. So I didn't realize it was the same guy. I'm like, no wonder he sounded familiar. It is the same guy who sang that. But I like that song. And I know I've gone on for like 50 minutes, but I had to. I mean, this is a childhood favorite of mine. I love the movie. It's fantastic. It's underrated. It deserves a lot more than it's gotten. I know they're doing a remake. I guarantee it's going to piss me off. I'll be surprised if it's worth a spit. I'll be surprised if it's like, okay, I can watch it on its own. The slight edge it has, Edgar Wright is a good director. But man, I don't need a remake of The Running Man. I know I have that, so it's not going to go away. That will always be there, but still, another one of, let's do a remake. Because why not? We need IPs to regurgitate because our box office has been shit. Literally the top 10 biggest films of the year were all sequels. Every single one of the top 10 was sequels. So there you go. With that said, to me this is an Arnold classic. Love this film. One of my favorite films of 1987. I put it at number 2 or 3 when I was on the Dead Pit, that stream with those guys. We did our favorite films of each year. I put this as either number 2 or number 3. I can't remember which. But I love The Running Man. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.